Hold up. You're breathing. Give me that towel.
Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more in-depth wrestling content, behind-the-scenes analysis, and storyline breakdowns, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started with one of the most seismic shifts in WWE history, the fall of the Tribal Chief, WrestleMania 41, and the betrayal heard around the world Roman Reigns. The Empire Years. For over a decade, Roman Reigns has stood atop the WWE mountain as the company's most dominant force. First introduced to mainstream fans as part of The Shield, Reigns quickly evolved into a solo megastar. Through triumphs, controversies, and character reinventions, he became the face of WWE. Reigns' transformation into the Tribal Chief marked a creative and cultural high point, earning praise for storytelling depth and long-term character evolution. His run as the undisputed WWE Universal Champion was historic. With a reign that surpassed 1,300 days, he dismantled names like John Cena, Edge, Daniel Bryan, Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, and Brock Lesnar. WWE built the Bloodline faction around him, turning it into a Shakespearean saga of loyalty, betrayal, and family dominance. He manipulated and ruled over his cousins, Jimmy and Jey Uso, and later Solo Sikoa, enforcing a strict hierarchy with Paul Heyman as his ever-loyal wiseman. But as WrestleMania 41 approached, subtle cracks began to show. Reigns was still the champion, still dominant, but his grip on power seemed to waver. The loyalty within the bloodline began to falter, and key figures in WWE were quietly stepping into the spotlight. WrestleMania 41. The stage is set. WrestleMania 41 was billed as a night of reckoning, with Reigns defending his title in a triple threat match against CM Punk and Seth Rollins. Each challenger brought decades of story with Reigns. Punk had unfinished business dating back to the early 2000s, and Rollins knew Reigns inside out from their time as brothers in The Shield. But this wasn't just about titles. It was about legacy, loyalty, and retribution. The stakes weren't just gold, they were generational. Rollins represented unfinished vengeance. Punk, a returning icon, was seeking justice and closure. Reigns, he was fighting to keep his dynasty alive. Subtle clues and promotional absences. As the road to WrestleMania intensified, fans began noticing odd absences. Roman Reigns wasn't featured prominently in promotional posters for post-WrestleMania events like Backlash and Clash at Paris. These shows instead highlighted stars like Cody Rhodes, Rhea Ripley, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and even Jacob Fatu. This subtle shift suggested that WWE might be preparing to reduce Reigns' full-time presence. Insiders from PW Insider and Fightful began hinting at a potential part-time run, citing physical tolls and Reigns' Hollywood ambitions. His role in movies like Fast and Furious spin-offs showcased his crossover potential. With John Cena blazing the trail before him, the writing was on the wall. Reigns was transitioning. The match, Chaos in the Coliseum, WrestleMania 41, Las Vegas, Allegiant Stadium. The lights shimmered across a sea of 70,000 fans. The main event was electric before it even began. Reigns, flanked by Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman, made his iconic slow march to the ring, championship belt slung over his shoulder like a king wearing his crown. Every movement exuded power, dominance, and certainty. Across the ring, CM Punk seethed with veteran resolve, and Seth Rollins dazzled in a robe of fire, eyes locked on the man who once called him a brother. The bell rang, and what followed was nothing short of a war. The match spilled over barricades, steel steps, and commentary tables. Reigns was ferocious, delivering Superman punches and brutal spears. Punk countered with GTS attempts, and Rollins soared with frog splashes and suicide dives. Each man had moments of supremacy, each tasted near victory. It was not just a match, it was a war for the future. Heyman's crossroads. Paul Heyman was uncharacteristically jittery. He had previously accepted to be in CM Punk's corner as a favor, repaying a decade-old debt. Meanwhile, Seth Rollins had spared Heyman on Raw, telling the Wiseman that he now owed him one. Heyman was caught in a moral tug-of-war, a character pulled between the past, present, and future. He knew betrayal was in the air, but who would be the betrayer? Who would be betrayed? The breaking point. Solo Sikoa strikes. As the match neared its climax, Roman prepared to deliver the final blow to Rollins. He turned to Solo Sikoa, barking orders, demanding a chair, the same method he used to secure victories countless times before. But Solo didn't move. The air grew still. Roman's eyes flared in disbelief. "Give me the chair," he ordered. Solo stood frozen, and then, in a moment that shattered the WWE universe, Solo raised the steel chair and cracked it across Roman Reigns' back. The thunderous impact echoed. Reigns fell to the mat, stunned and betrayed. Heyman pleads, Solo destroys. Paul Heyman scrambled into the ring, weeping, confused, begging Solo to reconsider, but Solo, stone-faced, driven by years of repressed emotion, delivered a Samoan spike to Heyman. The wise man crumpled. The emotional heartbeat of the bloodline was silenced. Rollins crawled over, shocked but opportunistic. He hit the curb stomp. 1, 2, 3. History was made. Seth Rollins stood as the new, undisputed WWE Universal Champion. But the moment wasn't about him. The aftermath. The Empire collapses. The cameras captured the image that would define this era. Roman Reigns, bloodied and broken, staring up at Solo Sikoa, his once loyal enforcer turned executioner. Solo climbed the ropes, raising the steel chair high as if it were the head of the king he had just overthrown. The stadium roared with a mixture of disbelief, betrayal, and awe. In the days that followed, WWE exploded with speculation. Did Solo plan this all along? Was this the final fracture in the Bloodline dynasty? Could Roman Reigns ever recover? Backstage segments showed Jey Uso watching from a distance, his eyes wide with a mix of vindication and uncertainty. Jimmy, once broken and banished, remained silent. The bloodline had imploded from within, and the shockwaves were just beginning to ripple across WWE. Roman Reigns, legacy in the shadows. Roman's story isn't over, but the throne is empty. He may re-emerge, perhaps changed, perhaps hungrier than ever. Or he may quietly fade, transitioning into Hollywood, special appearances, or one last epic feud. WWE seems to be moving forward. Stars like Gunther, Braun Breaker, and Solo Sikoa now take center stage. The new era is upon us, yet Reigns' legacy is undeniable. From the big dog to the tribal chief, from anointed golden boy to the most compelling villain-hero hybrid in modern wrestling history, Roman Reigns has redefined greatness. The final word, a reign redefined. If WrestleMania 41 marked the end of Roman Reigns' full-time dominance, it did so with poetry, brutality, and spectacle. The fall wasn't a whisper. It was a roar, a chair, a betrayal, and as the WWE Universe slowly turns its eyes toward the future, it does so with the indelible image of a fallen tribal chief burned into their minds. His legacy, like the chair that struck him down, will remain etched in wrestling lore forever. This was not just the fall of a champion, it was the fall of an empire. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more epic breakdowns and WWE deep dives.